All right, welcome back, everybody. Good afternoon. It's so wonderful to be here this beautiful Friday afternoon here in Houston, Texas. Welcome back to the Thinking Talmudist. We're going to now continue the Talmud. If you remember from a few weeks ago, we talked about Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon. He was a marshal, and he found someone guilty, and he had to execute him. So, ve'afilu hachi, despite this, the Talmud says, Lo samich Rabbi Elazar b'Rabbi Shimon adaite. Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon, did not wish to rely upon his own reasoning to absolve him of any guilt. Meaning, despite, imagine the following. Imagine you follow the law, you did what you needed to do, but it doesn't mean you're not a human and have a feeling, meaning a police officer. They have laws, they have rules, he needs to follow them. He does. And he needs to, like, for example, if someone, and this happens in real life, sadly, but if someone does execution by cop, right? So they tell him, put down the weapon, put down the weapon, put down the weapon. And he still comes at the police, right? They have to shoot him. And then they kill him. He did the right thing, right? The cop did the right thing. But does that mean he can sleep at night? No. He deals with a lot of PTSD. Right, doctor? They come to you, right? He deals with a lot of psychiatric issues because even though he did the right thing, just because you did the right thing doesn't mean that you're absolved of all emotion and perhaps of all guilt. Maybe there is a little bit of guilt. And here, in this case, Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon, felt that maybe his own reasoning wasn't sufficient to absolve himself of any guilt. Thus, Kibal alai yusuri, he accepted upon himself suffering, physical suffering. Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon, was stricken severely with illness. The Gemara details the effects of his illness and its treatment. Bi'urta havi moiche lei. At night, he would fold beneath him shisin namti, 60 layers of felt. Litzafra nagdi mituse. And in the morning, he would draw from under him shisin mishikle dama v'chiba, 60 basins full of blood and pus. Lamachar, the next day, of the lay debisu, his wife prepared for him shisin mine lifta, 60 kinds of lifta. It's a food made of figs. V'achilhu uvare, and he ate them and was recovered. I don't know what illness he had, but whatever illness he had, apparently he was dripping blood the entire night. Then his wife gave him this potion of figs, and he was healed. He recovered. Also, his wife would not permit him to go out to the house of study, so that the rabbis would not press him. Each night, Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon, would address them, talking to his aches and pains. And he would say, Achai v're'ai, boyu, my brothers and friends, come and afflict me. Bitzafra amrluhu, in the mornings, he would tell them, Zilu mipnei bitul Torah, go away, you afflictions, you pain, you aches, go away because of the disruption of Torah study that you're causing me. Meaning, he would have this conversation with his aches and pains, with his afflictions, and tell them, you have to go away now because you're causing me, you're disrupting my Torah study. One day, his wife heard him invite his afflictions, and Amrle, she said to him, At komaisis lehu ilavech, you are bringing them upon yourself. What's wrong with you? Why are you bringing this pain upon yourself? Kolisa mammon shel beis abba, you have squandered the money of my father's house. Imrada, she rebelled leaving the home. She was so upset. Ozla lebeinasha, and she went to her father's house. Saliku va'aso hanoch shisin sfainai. Afterwards, a certain group of 60 sailors came up from the sea and came to Rabbi Lazar, the son of Reb Shimon's home. Ailu le shisin avde. They brought him 60 slaves. Kinokiti shisin arniki, who were holding 60 pouches of money, 60 money bags. The Avdule Shisin Mine Lifta, and they were preparing for him 60 kinds of lifta. You remember lifta was the food that she served him, that he of the fig potion that healed him. V'achiluhu, and he ate them. Yom achada amar le librata. One day, his wife said to her daughter, Zili baki ba'avuch. Go find out about your father. Go inquire what's happening with him. Mai ka'avid ha'idna. What's been going on with him? How's he doing today? Asya, she came to her father. Amar lo, he said to her, Zili imir li imach, go tell your mother, Shelanu gedol mishalahem, ours is greater than theirs. What was that referring to? Our wealth that we have exceeds the wealth of your father. Okay, the husband and wife, right? She left because she felt that he was squandering her father's money. He says, we have more money than your father has. Don't worry about it. Anach, Shalanu gadol mishalahem. Ours is greater than theirs. Kari Anafshe, Rabbi Lazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon, quoted the following verse about himself. She, the Torah, is like a merchant's ship. From afar she brings her sustenance. And that's a verse from Proverbs. We know we sing that every Friday night in Eishes Chayil. So the Gemara now continues. He ate, he drank, and he gained back his strength. Nafik lebei midrasha. He went out one day to the study hall. He was healed and he went back, since his wife was not there to restrain him from going. Aisu lekamei shisin mino dama. They brought before him 60 different samples of blood. Taharinu, and he declared them all tahar. Now, what does it mean regarding this? We know that a woman, when she menstruates, when a woman is married and she menstruates and she has her ordinary monthly cycle, so that's a time that a husband and wife cannot be together intimately. They're together in the same home. They sleep in separate beds. It's a whole different discussion we can get into another time. It's not the topic right here. But in either way, if a woman has during her 7 clean days before she can return to her husband, she has to examine to ensure that there's no remnants of blood. And if there is a doubt, she has to bring it to a rabbi who has training in this, so that he can determine whether or not this blood, her husband can bring it. There's ways to do it that nobody knows who's asking the question. And there are many, many congregations that have a system so that the question is answered without there being any privacy issues. So that for those wondering out there. But that cloth, the examination cloth, needs to be inspected. I personally have been trained with this. Many years of training from my rabbi. We've seen thousands of samples of knowing exactly what color is considered to be the color of blood that makes a woman tameh, impure in this sense. And you have to know it's a training. It's a training. It's just like we said that there were things that Moses was taught by God at Mount Sinai. For example, regarding the offerings that were brought in the temple. How did Moshe know exactly what animal, what's done with it, whether it's a peace offering, whether it's an olah, whether it's a sin offering? All of these different offerings had different ways in which they were brought as an offering, and each one had a rectification, as we're going to see this week in our upcoming prayer podcast on Tuesday morning. We're going to see exactly how each one of the offerings that were brought was a correction for a certain connection that someone needed to correct in their relationship with God. One was a burnt offering, for example. The burnt offering, the whole entire offering was burnt. What was that? That was a person's complete devotion to God. I need full devotion. One was a physical elevation. I need to purify and holy, make myself, I like the word holify, right? To make yourself holy, your physical experience holy. And those were people who would eat from the offerings. Part of the offering was burnt, part of it was eaten, and it had to be in absolute purity. They couldn't be impure in the least bit. They had to go to the mikveh first, the ritual bath. They had to be absolutely pure because you need to elevate the physical. This is all an incredible learning, incredible teaching, but where do we get it from? Moses got it from Mount Sinai. This is something, if I tell you blue, how do you know blue? Because your teacher told you blue, red, green, or your parents taught you blue, red, all the different colors. If someone doesn't tell you that, you don't know that red is red. You look at the color red, you see blue. No, it's not blue, it's red. That means that's something that needs to go in what we call misora, which is a transmission that's parent to child or generation to generation. How do we know what the color of something that makes someone tameh, someone impure? This color. Wait. Tell you red. Well, what's red? You see so many things that are red. Is that the real red? Is that the color red? There's millions of shades of red. How does someone know? That has to be taught. And that was taught from God to Moses at Mount Sinai. And Moses shared that all the way to me learning it from my rabbi, who got it from his rabbi, who got it from his rabbi, who got it from his rabbi, all the way 131 generations of rabbi to student, till us learning here at the Torch Center. So either way, he was shown 60 samples. And he declared them all tahar. They were all permissible. They were all fine. That means that the woman can continue her 7 clean days, hopefully reaching the end of the 7 clean days, and then she can return to her husband after going to the mikvah. Havaka miranine rabbanon va'amir. The rabbis murmured against him and said, Salka daitach, do you really think that leisbahu chat safek, that even one of these 60 examples was even a doubtful case? Right? So, are you so confident? And over here, the commentary says that it would be highly unusual from a statistical standpoint that 100% of them were okay. It was more likely the rabbis insinuated that Rebbe Lazar, the son of Rebbe Shimon, had erred to some extent. Maybe he made an error. Now, Rebbe Lazar, the son of Rebbe Shimon, told them that the children resulting from his rulings should reflect the true halachic status of the blood samples. Meaning, if the samples were indeed all tahor, then only males who can never become nidas would be born. If, however, one of the samples was a doubtful case, as they claimed, then one of the children born would be a girl who could potentially become a nida because that would be the regular function of her body. So let's see what happened. Amar Lahu. See, he said, You're doubting me. You're doubting me, right? If I was correct, they'll all be boys. 60 boys. If not, there'll be a girl, you'll know that I made a mistake. What happened? Amar Lahu. Rebbe Lazar, the son of Reb Shimon, said to them, Im kamosi who? You kulam scharim. If the situation is as I say, let the women all conceive tonight and let their babies all be boys. V'im lav, and if not, tehene keva achas b'neim. Let there be one girl amongst them. What happened? Hayu kulam scharim. They all conceived that night, and all the babies were all boys. V'asiku lehu Rebbe Lazar al Shmei, and they all named each of their children Rebbe Lazar after him. Okay, they all named their children after him. Okay, so we're going to stop here. We're going to continue next week. We're going to continue more about this conversation and this story of Rabbi Elazar ben Shimon. Till next week, my dear friends, have a magnificent Shabbos. I look forward to continuing our learning for many, many, many more years, healthy years, fruitful, beautiful years filled with good deeds, with good accomplishments, God willing, and in absolute good health. My dear friends, have an amazing Shabbos. Thank you so much.